Hi, my name is Chris Sugai from Interbikes, here to talk about our new offering, our RIP9 RDO, and this will be delivering in March of next year. It's, as you can see, a carbon version of our vaunted RIP9 aluminum, which has been one of our most reviewed and I gotta say one of our best-selling bikes that we have in our line. And we've been working diligently on this creation for the last almost 2 years now. And we're really happy to debut it here at Interbike and for MTBR. And some highlights with the bike, some changes from the aluminum version. Obviously, it's made out of carbon. The rear travel has been lengthened to 125 mils of travel. Also, the frame weight has been reduced. The bike is, when in production, we expect the bike to come in sub 6 pounds. We're not quite in production yet. As you can see, we've been prototyping this bike heavily, and it's pretty well vetted out at this point. Some of the neat features we feel that are changes is a full carbon rocker, and there's some interesting pieces with this rocker that I'll explain in a little bit. Some other features of the bike is that it has ICG tabs, which are removable so that you can run a chain guide if you'd like. The bike is compatible with 2x10, 3x10, and 1x11 systems. One of the nice features of the bike, it can be run with a myriad of forks. You can run into it from 120 to a 140 travel fork for the bike. Currently on our website, we call it all the different geometries that are available when you put the different fork on. We'll have this matching fork from RockShox, the Revelation, in what we call the Rally Blue. We've also listened very carefully to the community on MTBR, and we've simplified the cable routing on the bike. It's very user-friendly. It has a dropper cable post for the bike. We've massaged the geometry just a little bit, no radical tweaks, but the RIP9 aluminum we felt was one of our really best handling quiver killers, and we feel the tweaks that we've made to this bike, depending on how you're going to ride the bike, are very appropriate, and I think people would be nicely surprised when they go out and ride this bike. Some of the other features, it has a 142 rear dropouts. Also on the underneath, it has you can see there's also carbon rockers down here as well. We've also have a bash guard installed, and this is removable as well. If you live in an area that's not really rocky, you want to save a little bit of weight, you can take it off. It also uses our 3M helicopter tape on the bottom to protect the down tube from rock flings. The bike comes with our C5 5-year carbon warranty. Also uses the new Fox Cashman coated CTD shock, And when I pull the bike out, and I'll show you some of the other neat little details that go into our bikes. I mean, we spend a lot of time going over and vetting our products, and you'll see that we have this interesting rocker arm. The rocker is actually completely hollow, very similar to like your crank. And instead of pressing in a bearing into the carbon, which sometimes can be difficult to do and also get everything to line up perfectly when you have this many bearings, is we use a headset bearing. And so there's a cup cold molded into the frame. This bearing fits into the cup. And then there's a lock ring that basically goes on top, screws onto the shaft, and you tighten it, and basically you can adjust the suspension so you can take the play out and also make sure that the suspension system moves nicely under load. And then this is just a lock ring which fits over, and then you use a standard Shimano cassette tool to lock it down. And all 3 main pivot points use this angular contact bearing system. And there's a couple benefits. One, you have a very large bearing area to handle the load. When the suspension is cycling very fast, the suspension will be very free, which is really important with the new shocks with the valving. Our CVA suspension system uses a very low leverage ratio. So what that means is you're not putting a lot of PSI in the shock, but therefore you want to make sure you have a suspension system that moves very freely. I think people would be surprised if you take your current bike, unscrew this and pull the shock away and try to cycle your swing arm. You'll see some systems, there's a lot of resistance, and that can really play with the rebound and so forth, the adjustment on the bike. This system allows the shock to work, really do its magic, and let the suspension system move freely. Another neat feature that isn't visible right away is the standover. We've worked really hard because this bike can accept up to a 140 fork. we wanted to make sure that you had good standover. So this bike actually has one of the best standovers of any 29er in its field. And we're really proud of the work that we've done to make that accomplished. And I feel that riders, you know, when you're going through a section and the bike's moving underneath you, the bike feels a lot smaller than it is. And I think that's a nice feature. So the frame will be launching in this new rally blue color. Later in the year, we'll also be introducing another color as well. The retail price on the frame is $28.99. And if you go to our website, you'll see that there's a new tab on our website called Bike Builder, and if you go there, you can choose a complete bike. So before we were only, really selling frames to our rider base, and now we have the ability to deliver a complete bike. And you can do some selection. You can choose your wheels, you can choose a fork, you can choose your cockpit package, and you can also choose the drivetrain level you want. It'll give you MSRP pricing. You can print that out. You can then locate your local Niner dealer. You can present that to their Niner dealer. They can get the bike for you in 48 hours. We can deliver it, ship it out to the dealer after notification from the dealer. So it's a nice, clean, easy way for you to get a complete bike from us now, instead of just ordering a frame and then having to source all the parts by yourself. And there you have it for Interbike 2012, and appreciate you coming and visiting this video.